In today's breaking story, JD Vance and Pete Hegseth just took a little visit to Shake Shack, and they got a brutal surprise. That's right, it turns out Americans are not too happy with the team that Trump has assembled. How's it going, everybody? Hunter Avallone here with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, as I was saying, Trump is a joke, and he has managed to assemble an entire team of jokes. For example, his priorities are laughable.
Remember that a nation without borders is no nation at all. And we're so thankful that we have a president that understands that and understands that a secure border is important to our country's future. Now, if you look at the structure that's behind me, it's tall, which makes it very, very difficult to climb, almost impossible. It also goes deep into the ground, which would make it very difficult, if not impossible, to dig under. And today, we are also going to be painting it black. That is specifically at the request of the president, who understands that in the hot temperatures down here, when something is painted black, it gets even warmer, and it will make it even harder for people to climb. So we are going to be painting the entire southern border wall black to make sure that we encourage individuals to not come into our country illegally, to not break our federal laws, but that they will abide and come to our country the right way so that they can stay and have the opportunity to become United States citizens and pursue the American dream.
And whoever Trump got to advise his economic policies, let's just say they're not the best.
And Pamela, the two main reasons why President Trump says that he likes tariffs is that he wants to shrink trade deficits, but also bring manufacturing back to the United States. So we set out to answer that question. Has that actually happened? How many companies have moved 100% of their manufacturing to the United States since President Trump took office? Well, the answer, pretty clear. Zero. And we've looked at big companies and mid-sized companies and still came up with that same answer. Of course, there could be some smaller companies that we don't know about, but the ones that we track, zero. Companies, though, instead of moving all of their manufacturing, have moved some manufacturing to the United States. And big companies that are really important to the U.S. economy. Apple, IBM, Johnson & Johnson, foreign automakers, Hyundai, Ford, and NVIDIA, the AI chip maker. And they have invested quite a bit already into the United States. Look at that. Apple, $600 billion, IBM, $150 billion, Johnson & Johnson, $55 billion, Hyundai and Ford together, $26 billion. And then an interesting way that NVIDIA is bringing revenue into the United States, 15% of all of their AI chips sold in China, now those sales coming back into the United States. So Pamela, really the hurdles to setting up manufacturing in the United States is high labor costs and just the ability to manufacture the items themselves because there isn't the manufacturing set up here in the United States.
And now two of Trump's top clowns just got a brutal surprise. That's right, JD Vance and Pete Hegseth visited Shake Shack and they got a brutal surprise. Take a look at today's top story. Vice President JD Vance and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth thought they were just grabbing burgers at Shake Shack in Union Station, but instead they walked straight into a political ambush. According to multiple reporters on the scene, the pair arrived with Trump ally Stephen Miller and a small entourage, only to be greeted by a chorus of boos, jeers, and chants from angry locals and travelers. The chaos grew so loud that the noise carried upstairs through the station. Police eventually stepped in, clearing the hallway and even shoving back at least one protester armed with a bullhorn. The incident comes amid rising tensions in Washington, where more than 1,000 National Guard soldiers from red states have flooded the Capitol. Vance claimed some of those soldiers expressed gratitude for the White House's support, even as locals say their presence has turned the city into an occupied zone. Restaurants in the area have reported a 30% drop in business since the military buildup began, even during DC's celebrated Restaurant Week. So instead of a casual Shake Shack stop, Vance and Hegseth got a brutal reminder. Not everyone's lining up for what the Trump administration is serving. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.